that you can jail a revolutionary, but you can't jail a revolution.
The person who was in the room, they kept calling out, stop shooting, stop shooting.
On December 4th, 1969, a People's Gas truck pulled up in front of an apartment building on the west side of Chicago. 14 plainclothes police officers quietly exited the truck with pistols and shotguns. In the apartment, there were leaders of the Chicago chapter of the Black Panther Party. At 4:30 a.m., the police kicked down the front door and started shooting.
And I saw bullets coming from, it looked like, the front of the apartment.
Fred Hampton was sleeping beside his 8-month pregnant fiancée when he was shot. This attack was not a one-time incident, as the FBI and the federal government spied on the Black Panther for the communist ideas and the civil rights movement. Fred Hampton was part of an organization called the Black Panther Party. It was a revolutionary organization with an ideology of socialism and armed self-defense, mostly against police brutality. That was still an American problem. In the 1960s, many civil rights movements had been successful, but there were still social and economic inequalities for African Americans in the United States. Police violence was still occurring, and so Hugh P. Newton and Bobby Seale created the Black Panther Party in October 1966. The Panthers began to patrol communities, and many of the police attacks were publicized, bringing awareness of the police's brutality in the country. But typically, the news reported blamed the party instead of the police, as they were portrayed as a gang with the goal of killing white people.
This is a war against the police.
To set their goals clear, the Black Panther wrote 10 points.
You say we want freedom, we want power to determine the destiny of our black community, full employment for our people. We want housing fit, decent housing fit for shelter of human beings. We want decent education for our black people in our community that teaches us the true nature of this decadent racist society. We want an end to the robbery by the white racist businessmen of black people and black people in their community. We want an immediate end to police brutality and murder of black people. We want all black men held in county, state, federal jails and prisons to be released because they have not had a fair trial, because they've been tried by all white juries, and that's just like being tried in Germany being a Jew. Trial will be tried by members of their peers. And number 10, you would say, let's just summarize it. We want housing, we want clothing, we want education, we want justice, and we want peace.
In 1969, the Black Panther started the Free Breakfast for School Children program. The Black Panther believed breakfast was essential for learning, and that fighting hunger and poverty was key to the black liberation. They cooked and served food to poor inner-city kids, creating community centers where children and parents could eat and learn about black liberation and the Black Panthers movement. In 1968, Fred Hampton joined the party. The Chicago Black Panther had barely started when the FBI began keeping a close watch. To J. Edgar Hoover, Hampton was a potential messiah figure, someone who could unite and inspire the growing black nationalist movement, which Hoover saw as a serious threat. In September, Edgar Hoover called the Black Panther the greatest threat to the internal security of the country. By 1969, they were a top target of COINTELPRO, with 233 out of 295 actions against the black nationalist group focused on the Black Panther and their allies. The FBI didn't only spy on the Black Panther, but also tried to break it from the inside. They also tried to change the public's perception of the party to be negative. For example, the FBI made a coloring book. The coloring book was filled with violent and graphic images, black children wielding guns, executing police officers, and calling them pigs. Some pages depicted children engaging in racial violence, painting a picture of radical indoctrination. The idea was to make it seem like the Black Panther Party was training children to be violent revolutionaries, poisoning their image in the public's eyes. The FBI also tried to send letters attempted to impersonate different Black Panther members. They also sent a fake letter to the US organization exposing a supposed Black Panther plot to murder the head of the US organization, Karenga. This resulted in numerous deaths, among which were the San Diego Black Panther members. But the most famous operation the FBI did related to the party was when it assigned O'Neill to infiltrate the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party, which was led by Fred Hampton. While in his role, he provided the FBI with details about the organization's activities, memberships, and leaderships. Most infamously, O'Neill gave the FBI a detailed floor plan of Fred Hampton's apartment, which was used on the deadly raid on December 4th, 1969. The police, acting on the orders of Cook County State's Attorney Edward Hannard, stormed the apartment under the pretense of executing a search warrant for illegal weapons. Once the police had stormed Hampton's apartment, they fired more than 90 times. When the rain of bullets finally stopped, 4 young Black Panther members lay shot and critically wounded. 2 had been killed. Mark Clark had reached for his own shotgun before taking a bullet through the heart. And then there was Fred Hampton, gunned down in his bed. Later, Hanran held a press conference, claiming his officers were ambushed by the Black Panthers. After years of legal battles, lawyers fighting for Hampton and Clark's family uncovered proof that the FBI was directly involved in Hampton's killing. One of the most shocking documents showed that the FBI had paid a bonus to William O'Neill, who had given them the map. The lawyers also proved that the FBI had passed this information to local authorities, who carried out the attack. In 1977, a former FBI agent came forward and admitted that the FBI had set up the police to kill the Black Panthers by forcibly telling them they would face armed resistance. The first judge dismissed the case after a long trial, but the lawyers didn't give up. They appealed and argued that the FBI had conspired to destroy the Black Panther Party. After more than a decade, the government finally agreed to a settlement paying $1.85 million to the families of those killed and the survivors of the raid. In 1989, William O'Neill was interviewed about his informancy for a documentary series. On the night the first episode aired, January 15th, 1990, O'Neill committed suicide by running into traffic.
I got to explain to you also.
Before I finish this video, I want to thank my friend Christian, who made all the music for this video and all my other videos. He recently published an album. I would really appreciate it if you could give it a listen. It's got nothing to do with the music from this video, but it would make me very happy if you could support him. His channel, Spotify and Instagram are in the description.
I want to go real elaborate with all these essays and dissertations and all this stuff, because the brother gonna look at that and he say, man, I ain't got time for that. I gotta go